I'm Richard Devilla. I'm currently the Sales and Promotions Officer for the Philippines Tourism Office here in the United Kingdom. Our office looks after 15 countries, covering both Northern and Southern Europe. Initially, I came to the UK about 8 years ago, a little more than 8 years ago, and that was to do business management studies in Bournemouth Business School. And then straight after, I was employed by the embassy and was hired by the former tourism attaché, Domingo Ramon Enerio. He now heads the Tourism Promotions Board back home, so he controls the whole marketing budget for the department. And he took me on as to look after the online campaign for the tourist office, because at the moment, then it was very little or non-existent. And it came to my background because my undergrad back in Manila was information technology and computer science. So initially, when I came into the office, it was to build the whole website, to build the whole online campaign. And it was very opportune because it came at a time when the digital side of the travel industry was just beginning. More and more people, at least in the Western societies, were looking for inspiration online and only starting to book their holiday packages online. So it was moving from traditional industry role of having ticket offices, going towards high street shops, and moving towards doing it all yourself online. In the succeeding years after 2006, my role has expanded towards covering marketing, PR, sales, covering media also, and so it's more grown to an all-encompassing role towards dealing with sending press over to the Philippines, maintaining tour operator contacts, fostering relationships with tour operators, attracting tour operators who don't yet sell the destination, convincing them why they should sell the destination, and while still taking over the online campaigns, and also trade show organizing. So as with WTM, which is our biggest show each year in our calendar, and also looking after embassies, because we don't have offices for our markets of jurisdiction. We only have two offices here in Europe, one in London and one in Frankfurt. Currently, we're headed by the tourism attaché in Frankfurt, Venus Tan, and she looks after both offices. And we still look to take care of our embassies because they serve us as an extension. So any tourism inquiries, they also assist us in dealing with tour operator contacts in their countries. And like last week, we just concluded a familiarization trip for Spanish tour operators with Singapore Airlines. There are about 12 of them, and all of them don't yet sell the Philippines, and generally they were happy with the result of their trip. It's 7,107 islands, and it has one of the highest concentrations of biodiversity in the world, especially in marine biodiversity. We're in the center of the Coral Triangle, and as you can imagine, when you go underwater, you're bound to see really a lot of species of fish and marine life. And also over ground, you have topographies like the Banawe Rice Terraces, some of the most beautiful beaches on earth, as attributed by TripAdvisor for Boracay and Palawan, for example. And really, it is discovering your own brand of fun. And that's why our catchphrase is, "It's more fun in the Philippines." We launched the brand in 2012 worldwide. It's more fun in the Philippines. And we launched the brand on the underground TV, like CNN, BBC, and to great acclaim, because a lot of people have said, why didn't we think of that before? And it is fun, and it is attributed to the reports by holidaymakers who've gone back, by tour operators who do sell the destination. And it really is just discovering your own brand of fun, whether it be diving, whether it be discovering the people. And at the end of the day, it's really just discovering what you can discover in that 7,107 island archipelago. And a lot of it also has to do with the people. And the Filipinos are attributed to be one of the most hospitable people on earth. And it doesn't take you 24 hours to make your own friend, even if you travel there alone. A good example was last year when the typhoon hit in November. We immediately had to do crisis management and assuring both the travel trade, that only 3% of the country was affected. Most general tourism destinations are really safe to travel. Also mirroring this with what the FCO is saying, and just reassuring all the calls that we'd get for people if it was safe to go, if how we were doing, general calls for concern. And it has made a great impact. And we also, as a result of this, we also received a lot of solidarity from the whole industry, whether it be organizers giving us free shows like the cruise show and the adventure show, Food and Travel Magazine giving us a full page ad, Wanderlust giving us features online, TTG giving us coverage, Verifone Media giving us free taxi mileage, and all of these was overwhelming for us and made us bounce back definitely way quicker than we expected. We want to target all brands of market segments because there really is something for anyone to discover in the Philippines. We have tour operators, whether they come from the luxury end, when they go to the Philippines, sometimes they just want to lose themselves. We've had reports from our friends who in the industry who've gone to some places in the Philippines that I have personally never even been to, and they just stayed a month going around for 6 weeks, which is surprising. And you also have to the high-end scale like Brown and Hudson, who's currently just now formulating their Philippines program. You have packages, bespoke packages for them ranging about 80 to 100,000 for 2 weeks. So you really have all brands of market segments that we can cater for in the Philippines. The speed, the changes when it comes to government, for example, and like last week we had a very good coup for the budget that came out for the UK that they're reducing long band APDs for the air passenger duty, for example, like the Philippines, classing it on the same band as the United States, for example. And this will bring ticket prices to long-haul destinations like the Philippines much lower, and it gives tour operators and the travel agencies better leverage to sell tickets and holiday packages to the Philippines. So it's just being aware of all the changes, whether it be positive or negative, and being able to deal with it in the shortest amount of time. I think in terms of the timelines, what brings to mind is the royal wedding in 2011. My previous boss, Chikoy, he called me the night before. Oh, you should be doing something for the royal wedding. We have Philippine media covering it. So I had about, a few hours, and this was already 11 o'clock in the evening, to arrange a whole PR event. So I called, we still had taxis on a campaign. So I called Asher. He looks after the taxis. I said, Asher, I have an emergency. I need a few taxis to do a PR campaign with. And true enough, we had about 3. And we used it to shuttle guests coming from coming from the Abbey to Buckingham. And only black cabs were allowed to enter then. And we also had Philippine media cover it. So I guess it worked well in the shortest amount of time that we were able to pull it off, and a lot of people, at least the guests attending both events, were able to see Philippines branding. I guess for me, it's always any one of those 7,107 islands. Because at the end of the day, when I go home, I usually go home twice a year, one for work and one for holiday, usually over Christmas and New Year. My family is based in Manila. I usually make it a point to visit a destination or an island that I haven't previously been.